Stephen, you've got your new Director of Recruitment. How does that work? How do you work with Martin?
It's not worked with Martin previously, obviously at Motherwell. We were together for 7 years. I think the press said 3 years, but we were together 7 years when I was assistant manager as well. So he knows football inside out. He knows people in football inside out, and it's more than just recruitment, which is obviously vitally important for us to establish ourselves. We've never had a head of recruitment at Morecambe, and probably the only club in League One that hasn't got one. So it really is a vital part of the infrastructure the board are trying to put together. But he'll be more than that. He's a mentor to me as well. You know, we all need people to speak to at times and advice, and he gives me that. And he's very good on the training pitch with vast management experience as well at this level.
So with a job like that, is a lot of it about personality and how you get on with targets or with yourself? Is that as important as the experience?
I think in football it's a strange game where you need to know people, and Martin knows everybody. You know, you need to be on the end of a phone to people all the time, and he is. You know, people are well aware of Martin. Agents are well aware of him, and as I said previously, people won't be straight away saying we're going to come to Morecambe, but Martin will be in their ear, maybe pushing people in the background and trying to be. Any good club has at least one transfer window, usually 2 to 3 transfer windows ahead of themselves. And summer being the perfect example for us when we only had 3 signed players. Hopefully that never happens again. We have a basis of a squad to add to, and that's where your head of recruitment is vital. Preempting moves, preempting perhaps that Carlos was going to go, Sam was going to go, and have replacements ready to go. And that's difficult as a manager because you're trying to do everything else, and the main bit being the pitch, obviously. So I think for us to establish ourselves with Martin's character as well, he's very good around the place, very happy and bubbly, and I think he's going to be a big asset.
So would he have made a difference in the summer? Because we talked at the time you had to recruit people quickly, didn't you? If Martin had been there then, would things have been different, do you think?
It would have helped. Put it like that. It would have helped, but he wasn't. So we done our very best with it. Listen, we've recruited good players. Make no mistake. Yes, we're on a poor run at the moment, but we've recruited good players. And what it would, if there's only 3 players there, you still got to recruit 17. Martin would have come in at the same time as me. What you're hoping now is we've got a little bit of stability, so that when we do go forward, we're recruiting 4 and 5 players to add the basis of a squad that hopefully does well, instead of a brand new squad that doesn't know each other. And I think that's the key to it, being ahead of yourself and ahead of the game.
So he's got to hit the ground running, hasn't he, with the window coming up?
Yeah, it's a hard window. Christmas is a hard window. There's not loads of availability. We're only looking to sign maybe 3 players. We're not looking for mass wholesale changes. And whether we were winning games or losing games, we always knew get to this stage there was going to be some that probably need to move on, and some that maybe might leave. You never know. You're a selling football club, so you have to be prepared for that, and we are, and Martin will be as well.
You talked about how few players were left in the summer. Of course, that now links to the next subject, which is Newport in the FA Cup, because it was Newport in the Play-Off Final. And you've just reminded me how few players who started at Wembley only 5 months ago are still with the club. Yeah,
it's strange, isn't it? There was only Cole and Toombs who started the other night, and Kyle and Gibbo, I believe, who were involved in that Wembley. So there's been a huge turnaround in terms of staff, management and players at the football club. And it's been tough. It's been tough, but everyone knew that. Everyone knew when we went up, it was going to be tough. We were going to have to recruit really quickly. And as I say, we haven't really had the momentum of possibly other clubs where we retained a large amount of the squad. And there's been so much change. There's been so much change. So I think it'll be quite irrelevant on Saturday, the Wembley game. There's not the same personalities, not the same managers at either club. So I think it'll be completely different.
But Newport will have a point to prove, won't they? They'll feel that they were hard done by at Wembley, and there's a certain Kevin Ellison as well.
Yeah, listen, of course they will do. I believe it was the referee that refereed our game the other night as well, so coincidentally. They will do, but we've got a point to prove as well. We haven't picked up good results. We didn't play well on Tuesday night. Some of the other performances have been good without picking up results, so it takes the pressure of the league off us a little bit, and hopefully we can go out and put a better performance on than what we done on Saturday.
Because it's quite a break now in the league, isn't it, because of the international break after the FA Cup? Is that a good thing, having a good couple of weeks really?
I think it may be, because we're now going to get people back to fitness. I think John O'Biga will play hopefully in 2 weeks' time in a reserve game, a part of it. we've got Courtney Doofus as well, we've got Shane McLaughlin, we've got Josh McPeak, Aaron Wildig, Shane Harrison. So we have got a lot of players to come back in who, could well be starting players for us. So it gives us a chance to do that. Obviously, momentum-wise, you don't get a chance to build any, but we've got 2 games, and we've actually got 3 with another reserve game the week after for us to look at things, give people minutes, and keep continually to work on the squad. It
was interesting what you said about Tuesday night, because it was performance that disappointed you, wasn't it? Not just the result. And normally you say, yeah, we performed well or okay, but you were seriously disappointed. Yeah, and disappointed for the players, because I know they're better than that. And I have to give credit to the fans as well. They stood behind the boys. Nobody leaves, and I've seen other games where the stands are empty, and they know it's work in progress. But we've got good players, good characters, decent boys at Kerr, and it's disappointing for me to see them not produce what I know they can produce. I think that's probably when you guys put a microphone in your mouth straight away after games, it's emotional. I want to win games. I'm desperate for the football club to do well, and it's hard to take when you see people underperforming. But they don't mean to make mistakes. But the performance against Oxford was so encouraging. The performance Tuesday wasn't where I know we can be, and we'll hopefully rectify that Saturday. You talked about playing style and how you didn't want to go direct, but is there a temptation sometimes to go direct, just to try and grind out a result, sacrifice your principles? We haven't got the players to go long to, for how big Cole and Jonah are. Actually, technically, they're much better than they are early, so we haven't got the players. When I was at Motherwell for the first 2 seasons, we had 2 big strikers, and we played to them. We went longer and we missed out, so it's not one-dimensional. You've got to play to the strength of your players. We are a good football side. Again, we had 63% possession on Tuesday night, but possession doesn't win football matches. Both boxes win football matches, and look, it's something we're continually working on, our back 4, and it's not just defenders. You defend as a team, you attack as a team. More protection for the back 4, more end product in the final third going forward. So it all comes together. But no, we've got a style of play. We've recruited for that style of play. We'll continue to do that. Look, I've got a lot of belief in what I do. I'm very much here for the long term, and so is the board. We all want the same thing, the same direction. I've got total support from everybody, the fans, people in the street that come up to us. The amount of people have said to me, we love how you're playing. Yeah, I'd love not to play very well on Saturday and win, and the same when we play Fleetwood. But ultimately, you have to have an identity. I think we've got an identity, and now the results need to start following. So going back to the FA Cup, how badly do you want a good run? I mean, last season it ended in Chelsea away, no fans there, unfortunately. But with a battle on at the minute, is the FA Cup an unnecessary distraction, do you think? Listen, we haven't got a big enough squad to compete on all fronts, hence why in the Papa John's I've went with 9 and 10 changes for games. We're not going to make that many changes for this game. We want to win the game. Are we going to win the FA Cup? Maybe not, but we want to progress as far as we possibly can. I know what cup runs can do for clubs. We got the 2 cup finals with Motherwell. It lifted the profile of the football club. It raised a lot of money that allowed you to build on the success, and it put players to the fore. Unfortunately, end up selling them, but it certainly is a shop window and puts you in the spotlight, which teams like Lincoln have done before, and Morecambe last year. Unfortunately, without any fans. So look, the fans deserve a little run. We'll be doing everything in our power to do that. Ultimately, my main aim this season is to make sure we stay in this division. So injury-wise, is it mainly good news, as you were saying just now? Up until today, yeah. So young Freddie Price is done his ankle today. Ball just hit him. And he was just starting to get into the team, starting to come to the fore. So that's disappointing for him as a boy, because he worked very, very hard as well. Forward-wise, we're, as I say, the players, John O'Big, Courtney Doofus, Shane Harrison, Aaron Wildig, Shane McLaughlin, who's been a big miss for us. I think he's been our player of the season. So they'll all be back within the next 2 weeks, and then what I wanted, we've got a selection headache, and when I turn around to the bench, we've got real options. At this moment in time, even when people aren't playing on the top of their game, it really is difficult to make like for like changes, and that's the only way you compete at this level.